Who has more pressure to perform next season? Kuminga or Pods? Let's get into it. What's good, y'all? Back at it with another one. If my voice sounds a little different, that's because I'm sick. I've been sick for the past week. So the question is, who has more pressure to perform next season? Kuminga or Pods? First, let's talk Kuminga. The first reason being, he's due for a contract extension. And the big one. Kuminga's looking for that max rookie extension, which I think for him is somewhere around 220 M's. Basically, the same contract Franz Wagner got. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of money. That's a steep price. And you know what? He has the right to demand that. Obviously, from the player's perspective, he's looking around at his peers. He sees Franz Wagner got what he got. He sees Scotty Barnes get what he got. He sees Evan Mobley get what he got. And he sees Cade Cunningham's contract. Now, whatever you want to call it, delusional or whatever the case may be, in Kuminga's mind, he's better than every single one of those players, which warrants him getting that max extension as well. Now, we can sit here and go player for player and go over who Kuminga's better than out of that list. But not trying to get too much into a tangent, that's a topic for a different video. In terms of Kuminga, if you had to ask me, is he worth that max rookie extension? I think he has the potential to be. Obviously, we all know Kerr didn't play him as much as he should have. And if Kuminga got drafted to one of these other teams with a little more leeway to make mistakes and play extended minutes, he might look just as good as Franz Wagner. So it's hard to say, but I will say, based off everything we've seen so far, me personally, if I was the GM, I wouldn't feel comfortable giving him the full max extension. So we'll see how that plays out. But the fact that Kuminga's demanding it and expects it, that means you better perform this year. That means you better turn up. Going to year 4, you're asking for a full max extension, 220 M's, you better take that leap. So with that by itself, is already a lot of pressure on Kuminga to perform. The next point for Kuminga, you're going into year 4. Year 4 is that time, bro. You had 3 seasons to find your footing. Yes, he is still young. He's still only 21, but you're a young vet. And with 3 years of experience in the system, with 3 years of familiarity with your teammates, now's the time, bro. No one can doubt Kuminga has the physical tools. He has every fathomable tool you can ask for in the wing. The size, the length, the athleticism, the strength, quickness, the coordination. He has it all. Now it's just a matter of his skill level and his experience catching up with his physical tools. But going into year 4, we gotta see something, bro. You definitely gotta level up. All right, now let's make the case for Pods. Why would Pods have more pressure to perform? Well, I guess we can start with the fact that the Warriors refused to include him in the Lowry marketing trade. In wake of the Lowry marketing trade discussions, Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy reportedly told Pods, they want you, but you're not going anywhere. You're ours. And hey, I'm all for reassuring your player and making sure that relationship is strong, just to avoid any type of discouragement from the player, thinking they're not valued by the franchise. But I don't think that's just Mike Dunleavy reassuring him. I think the Warriors truly value him that much, outside of the obvious superstar names that aren't available. How many players in the league do you really think the Warriors would include Pods in the trade for? I'm gonna say very few. Now, you can call it the Warriors overvaluing their own players, but at the end of the day, Pods is a promising young player. Podziemski came into the league as a 20-year-old rookie that's already a really good role player. That says a lot, because Steve Kerr isn't known for trusting rookies. To put it simply, Pods is already a really good player. And when you factor in his character and how hard of a worker he is, it's easy to see a path where he improves every season. Podziemski himself said he's aiming to be an all-star by year 4. Is that a crazy thing to say? For some fans, they might say that's cocky. And by the way, any Warriors fan turning their nose up to Podziemski because they said he's cocky, y'all must not know what it takes to get to this point. For all these players to get to the league, the NBA is the best 450 players in the world. You're the top 1% of 1% of 1%, the best of the best. In order for these dudes to reach a level, to get where they've gotten, you gotta have this ultimate self-belief in yourself. Some might call it even arrogance, but that's what it takes. And all these players are like that. All these players have that ultimate confidence in themselves. Most players, even bench players, think when they go on the court, they're the best player out there. That's just how it is. That's the mindset you gotta have to make it. Now, it appears Pods is a little more outspoken about his cockiness, but I promise you, every single player in this position, they all feel the exact same way about themselves. I'd rather a player be cocky and good and actually deserves to be on the court than a player you gotta hype up because he's timid, doesn't have faith in himself, scared of the moment, doesn't trust himself in critical situations. I don't want that type of player, and y'all wouldn't either. So yeah, maybe Pods is a little cocky, and that's cool, because I'll take the cocky young player that can play over the humble player that's trash any day of the week. It's a good thing, man. Some of y'all Warriors fans gotta redirect some of that hate y'all got towards Pods. It's not his fault the Warriors don't want to trade him. If you really want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the front office. And even then, I think they're justified, because I promise you Pods wasn't the last factor holding up that trade. According to Warriors reporter Anthony Slater, that trade wasn't even on the 50-yard line. That means they were nowhere near close. He said even if the Warriors included Pods, Danny Ainge still wanted everything else. So that trade wasn't getting done regardless. Danny Ainge was playing games. So all that hate I got towards Pods because he wasn't included, y'all gotta let that go. The next point in favor of Pods having more pressure to perform. The Warriors have basically anointed him the guard of the future. That's a really bold statement for a player that only has his rookie season of experience under his belt. But the Warriors have a lot of faith in Pods. Between them saying that and Joe Lacob saying he has all-star potential, it's pretty obvious how high the Warriors are on him. Look, it comes down to this. The reason the Warriors felt so comfortable playing hardball with Clay is because they had Pods in the pipeline. As for my verdict, I think Kuminga has more to prove. But before I say why, let me finish up on Pods. Look, bro, With all that's been said, Pods is still going into his second year. Yes, him having a better than expected rookie season raises expectations a little bit, but this year he'll still be a second-year player in the second year of his rookie contract. Meanwhile, Kuminga's looking for a second contract that's going to pay him 220-something M's. Pods is playing for how much? Like what, less than 5 mil? In my opinion, it's not even a comparison. One dude's playing for less than 5 mil. In terms of value, he's outplaying his contract by probably 4x, while Kuminga's trying to get 220 M's, bro. The answer's obvious. It's Kuminga. But me personally, I'm expecting big things from both. I think they're both talented young dudes, and I think they're both going to play vital roles next season. Anyways, that's all I got for y'all. If I entertained you or you learned something new, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace.